The Blessed Express. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? Boom, baby, boom. Rise. Somewhere through this cloud is a silver lining. Shine the silver lining within you and heal with me as I journey this world and come up with ways to fix my soul and fix my mind and heal myself. And that's what I've been doing on this journey. I've been healing myself. You can see these boys are making quick work out of the bricks, bro. Probably by the time I'm done with the end of this show, that whole part right to the wood will be finished, and some of the guys are doing their thing. I've been hearing them this morning, and this is your morning motivation time. This is how I heal. I process and talk about things and make things to be a little bit all right. This is kind of wild, so I'll just shut the windows a little bit. Not that much shine. Usually I like to hang out and have the sunshine. There you go. That's not as loud, but I love having the shine behind me, except for I got a scissor lift right by me, and apparently now they make the scissor lifts out of electric, which is pretty cool too. But when I shut the window, hopefully it's clearer. These boys are hauling ass. Look at that fucking dolly. That's a brick dolly. They bring a whole fucking stack of bricks and you just fucking lay it right there. You pick it up, you lay it down, boom, baby, boom. There it is. And this boy's just stacking it like it's Tetris, and pretty soon it'll be done. And pretty soon I'll be moving on. Just got off the phone with Benny Mac, my co-producer. We're planning, he's gonna be there in about 3 days or this week, all the way to Thailand. You lay it down, look how cool that is. You set the sides, it pinches the whole block. Yep, pinches it, he cranks it down. That's pretty fucking cool. Leans it, how fucking awesome is that? That's how you carry a bunch of bricks really quick without breaking them. Pretty impressive, if I do say so myself. I love construction, I love the ideas, and like I said, by the time I'm done with the show, these boys will have finished this section, and this boom, maybe he'll be finished, but it's quite loud, but that's why I had to, I'm probably resonating off the windows, but that's what it is sometimes, you know, you only get what you give and you deal with what you got, and that's part of the healing is playing the cards that you were dealt. And it's not easy because cards come from all over the place. You know, our cards can be loser cards, or maybe we identify them as losing cards, or maybe we need to start identifying them as learning cards. Something that I was reading this morning, again, reading my mindset book, and just, you know, how parents tend to reply to children and how the fixed mindset comes from families as well. You know, they were talking about if you don't do well at a test, or if you don't do, if you didn't perform well at gymnastics, or, you know, your artwork wasn't a fucking Picasso, what's your response to that person? And a lot of people take it with judgment. I know I was raised with judgment, and there's some kind of penalty or less love for not being that efficient. There was less reinforcement, and it was like, well, if you're not awesome, then I don't love you. And that's a hard thing to swallow. My father's case in point was just he always did that. He always did this, you know, if it's not up to snuff, it's not enough. And I just made that up, and that's not one of his phrases, but it's true. That's what he would do. He would say things to me like that and make it as if I was irrelevant or not worthy if I didn't become super successful or do things the way that he perceived them, the way that he needed to be done. And never underestimate approval and acceptance and accountability. It's such a clutch moment for all of us that we have moments in our lives that somebody reinforced us properly without just praise, which is an easy one. It's a quick self-esteem boost. It's similar like I was talking about with the book was talking about with the Columbine kids. The popular kids were getting a quick self-esteem boost, but the self-esteem leaves like steam as soon as it's something that's hard. As soon as you're not a Picasso, as soon as you're not perfect, and as soon as the things don't go your way, man, they're making quick work of those piles, bro. It's amazing. How do you respond? How do you open your mindset to say that, okay, well, maybe it needs more work, or I need to do something differently, or how can I improve? We tend to judge ourselves and say, okay, well, I didn't do good, and I should have done good, and I'm horrible for not doing good. Turns out that these situations don't improve a situation. It's almost like false valor, or they call it fake valor, or you're stealing someone else's job. Like, they're the ones doing the job. These guys deserve all the valor because they're actually working. I'm just some guy that keeps talking every morning on a podcast, and I don't even have a podcast. I don't even have a microphone or a table set up. I don't even have any guests, and really I don't have any viewers either, so it's cool. I can say whatever I want to say. But when you're getting reinforcement and people are telling you something, and you get that kind of feeling that you're being judged, or that what you're doing isn't good enough, it tends to deflate that ego really quickly. It tends to deflate us as human beings, that we aren't as cool as we think that we are, or maybe we're not as good of a gymnast or an artist, or the approval isn't up to the standard. Yeah, they made quick work out of that. They just dropped that load and all of it's gone so fucking fast. I told you by the end of the show, they'll be right here along this row. But anyway, so, half-hour show, that's a lot of work, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a lot of work. Not all of us are going to hit it out of the park, and even if we do, it's probably bad habits to assume that we're always going to. What would be a good habit, or an open mindset person instead of a fixed mindset person, is seeing the things as something that needs more work. And that's what I started to see with myself, especially being a mistake master, and losing a baby, and not attaining what I wanted to attain in life, a family. I sat there and I said, this needs more work. And it needs me to work on it. It needs me to read on it. It needs me to fucking focus and change my behaviors and be a cycle breaker. This is what we were talking about with the post this morning on the thumbnail, is, be the first one in your family to see what's wrong with your family. Be the one that can find not just fault, but find healing, find something that needs to be worked on, and put effort into that. It's not like we're all awesome right off the bat. We like to see Kobe Bryant dunk on people, but we don't want to see him getting up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning and working on his dunks. We don't want to see the process. Like John Jones just canceled his fight because he was there wrestling with somebody and tore his shoulder. And it's like, yeah, because he's put in the work. He's getting older, and a lot of us, we just want things to be fucking done. We just want them to be Thanos snapping. Things are easy for me, and that's probably like the worst thing that could happen to you. I talk about it in Vegas all the time, but like the worst thing that could ever happen to you is that you win. And people say, what? Yeah, dude, if you think that everything comes easy in life, that you're never going to be ready for a situation where things don't go your way, right? And nobody prepares for bad days. We only want all our days to be sunshiny, no clouds, always warm. Never a snowflake in the air. And what happens is we're gonna hit things because we are mistake masters. Things do happen to us, and shit ain't gonna go our way, and we're not perfect. So what are you gonna do on the day when it requires more effort? When the challenge arises in front of you and you have to see that you need to work more than just be. And that's a tough thing for most people when they have to adjust. When there's something new to learn or something new has to happen, most of us, we panic. We go, okay, it's not organic, it's not easy, therefore it doesn't belong to me. And some people with open mindsets, they'll do the opposite and say, this requires more work from me. Maybe I need to study more to pass that test. Maybe I need to try harder to be a better gymnast. That's cool, you just dumped that front loader. I should have recorded that. I will record it, but that's what it's going to require sometimes. This is like extra focus, maybe learning a new task. And that's what I'm getting from my healing, is like, for me, I didn't realize, for all the things that were going on in my life, that it required for me to learn why I wasn't successful. A lot of people just say, oh, well, I'm not good at something, then therefore it must be a problem with me or something I did, when it's something that I could. Come on, I flipped this camera around. Always does that to me. And why we don't do things. Let me open this up so you can see this thing. Check this out. He's got a forklift over there. All right, I'm live again. Sorry, I get curious on how the construction goes, but if you've been watching the whole last week, you can see it's been going pretty good. But that's what it is. I mean, sometimes it's not going good. And what's our attitude when things go bad? Do we become self-destructive and we start drinking or hurting ourselves or calling ourselves bad names inside of our head? Are we been doing that since our childhood? Is that something that our parents had said? And they're like, I'm pissed, go to your room. You should have got an A. And it's like instant disapproval, instant disrespect, and instant disownment. You know what I mean? They pretty practically disowned me. My father practically disowned me. My brother disowned me. There's people that wish they never knew me, and I have a sadness for it. I have this thing in my head of a list of people that I wish I did better by. And then I look at the list of people that I have done good by, that I have brought my good energy, that I have taught them to not give up, that I have taught them about positivity and depression and how to heal yourself. And it's not just traveling the world, because trust and believe, I got no money, I've been not eating, but it helps with the diet too. My buddy, we were talking about it, but your boy Sing almost got the 6-pack abs because I have been not eating as many calories as before. But really, how many times have you ever sat there and said to yourself, I'm not going to eat fast food for a year, And now I've been traveling for a year, and I've had a couple fast foods, I had a Hesburger here or there, but full-on soda, French fries, and everything else, no, That's not what happens. Is I've been able to stay away from the Taco Bell. I can't afford €5 fucking tacos, and quite frankly, if I was going to get a taco, it wouldn't be a Taco Bell in Finland, but I'm not running to my Taco Bell habit. And trust and believe, that was definitely Saint's addiction. And I'm not running towards fake healing. I'm not trying to drink my problems away and hoping that everything will get better as long as I don't feel them. Matter of fact, I just wanted to learn from them. I wanted to learn why I was the way that I was while I was doing what I was doing. Hopefully this guy doesn't bump into that thing behind him. There he goes. There you go. Yeah, he stopped. Nice and slow, baby. Nice and slow. Bring on the new brakes. That's amazing. And these guys are about to be done with it. Look, he keeps shifting it with the shovel. The attention to detail is awesome. To shift them after they've been laid down and move them around with the shovel is really cool. But do you shift yourself after something's happened? I mean, using these guys as an example, to shift yourself, to be able to see yourself in a new light and say to yourself, this is a new way that I'm approaching things. This is the new way that I do things. And I'm not going to just stay in my old ways, but I'm going to find something that needs to be shifted. I'm going to find that one little brick in the middle of it and shift it over, instead of believing that I'm cursed forever and that I'm going to constantly be bad at things. How much effort would it be different to believe that I'm learning and that I didn't have a plan for this? I didn't know what was going to happen with my child. I never felt fully committed to the birth of my baby because the girl always had me on edge. I never felt like she was truly in my corner or in my baby's corner, and it fucked with me. It fucked with my head instead, and that's sometimes what happens in life, is that we get stuck in not this kind of idea that we're supposed to be perfect and wake up on time every day and go to work every day at the same time and never miss a day of work, as if we're always going to be forever healthy, or that we're always going to win every test and that we should know it all. That's not how life works, bro. It's a process, and we as people are part of this process in life. Oh shit, this guy's gonna hit the wall in the back. Watch it, watch it. Just move it up, bro. Just lift, don't go backwards. Don't go backwards, just lift it up a little bit. Yeah, move it forward with your forklift claws. Make it move forward, not you. Anyway, your boy's saying just how to move myself forward, I mean, life was gonna throw me crazy, but it was up to me to learn what crazy was, to learn my habits of my family, or the habits that I had to unlearn from abuse or disrespect or disownment. There was so much of it that I wasn't realizing I was doing, but I needed to learn. I needed to learn from myself. I needed to learn from my mistakes. I needed to experience life, because that's what life is. It's this process that while you go through it, it's going to give you random, ridiculous tasks, random issues, or random things for you to learn, so that way you can elevate yourself. If it wasn't for challenges and obstacles, how else would you know what you're made out of? And that's what I really started to tune in on with my life, was like, I needed to learn what I was made out of. I needed to learn from these obstacles. And I heard it once from your boy, what's his name? Man, he just dropped the front loader again. Let me show you. So he dropped the forklift there. Now he's coming back and picking up the shovel here. And he said, I think one of them was your boy, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee said something to the effect, you can see my Saints Addiction shirts in the reflection. Bruce Lee said something to the effect of, don't pray for an easy life. You know what I mean? That's not what we want in our lives. We don't want an easy life. What we want is a life full of challenges, because that's going to bring the most out of us. It's almost like having an equal opponent. I don't know if you've ever done that or not, but when you have an opponent that is similar to you or brings the most out of you, you see why they hug each other after an event, is because that's what we need in our lives, right? We need that kind of shit to happen to us, so that way we know, this is crazy how he's doing this thing on the edge. That way we know we put all of our best out there. And is it challenging? Yeah, I mean, like a marathon, it's challenging. But I mean, the more miles, the more the challenge. And that's what I started to see in my life. It was like, no matter how big the obstacle is, it's almost like a Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury. It's like the bigger the challenger, the better the results, the better the performance. And that's what I started to really see in my life, was that I was taking on these challenges to get the best out of myself. I want the best opponents. And you hear this from some of the biggest fighters in the world. They give me a top 5 guy, give me a top 10 guy, because you don't want to waste your talent and possibly get knocked out with a no-namer. You want to get at least knocked out by the best, or the best challenge you so much that it brought out the best in you, that you went harder, went stronger, went faster than you ever thought you could, because the challenge was that much harder. It was that much more of a challenge. It was that much more of an obstacle that we needed to get the best out of ourselves. And that's what Saints Addiction was all about, was I was going to get the best out of myself. I was going to stop with my addictions and start focusing on my saintliness. And that's a hard nipple too, Yeah, right there, boom. So man, my nipple's really hard right now, but that was my thing, was to just go in this world, travel the world with no money, credit card stop, websites stop, phones off, and the phone stopped. And then it's like, okay, Saint, what are you really made out of? Well, shit, man, I'm made out of adaptation. I've done this before. Food's cheaper in Thailand, and it's warmer, and it's more spicier. So then that, for all that warm weather and that warm food, is gonna help me lose more weight. And it's cheaper, so I don't have to be stuck just eating muesli every day. But my friend's not cooking for me. I have an option to do something with my life. And that's where I started to be like, okay, Saint, yeah, this is the challenge at hand. You put yourself in these situations to see if you can get yourself out. And then I have real self-confidence that isn't based off of praise or somebody always saying, yo, you're so awesome. Instead, it's I'm awesome because I overcame not awesome. And that's what most people don't want to see. They always want to be popular, but they don't want to be popular for the wrong reasons. What if you're popular for murder? What if you're popular for a blowjob? It's like thinking of Alex Hernandez. He was a fucking tight end for the NFL, for the winning Super Bowl champion Patriots, and now he's in prison, and he hung himself. So it's like, you killed yourself. It's like, would you gladly switch for his story? I mean, at first, yeah, I want to be tall, good-looking, fucking NFL player with a Super Bowl ring. Sounds like an easy life to me, till you're a murderer and you're hanging yourself. Or Monica Lewinsky, where every time someone mentions you, it's a euphemism for a blowjob, and you'll always be harassed, and you'll always be made fun of, and you'll always be the pariah or the butt end of a joke. And that's what I end up saying to myself, is like, you want to be popular till your podcast goes viral for the time that they break into your shop, like they did with me and the cops, and I end up getting 500,000 views. Over 500,000 people witnessed the worst day of my life, with the cops coming into my shop and harassing me while I was trying to fucking earn a living or just do my own thing. And that's what it ends up happening in our lives, is we end up having these things come and confront us, and We want it to be smooth, but if everything was smooth, it's almost like everything always being sunny. And sunny's cool till it's too hot. Then you want it to be cool, and you'll need a sunset and a nighttime to cool off everything else. So everything's in balance. The night is as long as the day is. You need as much rest as you do work. There's 8 hours of work out there for everybody, and there's 8 hours of sleep out there for everybody. I was watching, I screenshotted it too, of this cart. There was a chart that was showing how most human beings spend their lives, and most of us, a third of our lives is sleep. You know, a tenth of our lives, daily lives, is a full 24 hours a day. What do people do? Is preparing something to eat, and the other thing is doing some kind of activities, either in and around the house or outside of the house for work and shit. And that's the transformation of it. Is like, what do you do with your time? Are you spending it hurting about your feelings? Are you spending it healing your feelings and getting constructive with it and creative with it, instead of being judgmental with it and saying, oh, my feelings hurt so much? Well, my feelings hurt the most, it seems addiction, because I was addicted to my feelings for the longest time. I just started to create, like you saw me yesterday. It's like, go make a new logo, make a new design, get it out of my head, go write that email that I wanted to write, go start planning my trip to Thailand. I got so much to do instead of just sitting there numb, smoking my joints, and just staring at the TV all day. I can go and get on my laptop, get the laptop out, start downloading my files, start fucking uploading them into my Google Drive, start doing my paperwork so I can get my visa in Thailand, start getting prepared for my friends' visits tomorrow. Friday, I'll be at my friend's house eating nachos. I'm excited about that. And Saturday, I'll be at my other friend's house, going into Helsinki. Well, I'm not going to his house, he's in the Lappeenrantas, but going to Helsinki and going to see what it is with his life. So it's one of those things that we make our own reality. We're the ones that deliver the message in our heads. You know, it's not for just dread or emotions or disappointments. There's room for improvement. There's room to process the new way that's happening in our lives and say, okay, this new way is something else. You know, this new way is me seeing me and my patterns, my family, my history, and also what's my future, you know, and concentrating on these things called life and seeing if I can improve my skill set. I obviously have room to improve. If I'm still alive, I'm still learning. I'm a lifetime learner, and that's what it's going to have to be sometimes. Is like, you know, we're going to have to adjust ourselves, and that's what I've been really trying to do. Is not just to feel myself and be in my feelings and all those other things. Damn, these kids be going fast with these scooters. Scooter boy. But also adjust myself so that way I become a better human being. I develop more calluses and resilience to the hiccups. You know, if that's anything that I learned from the book, was that we as people, we haven't given ourselves any sort of time or energy towards fixing the topic. We're just mad that the topic even happened. And instead of thanking our aggressors or thanking our challenges or thanking our downfalls, what do? We complain and get rude, when the truth is that it's presenting us an opportunity. It's just presenting us the new challenge to challenge ourselves to get more results out of ourselves. And that's all I see is in me, especially with the Saints addiction thing. I was like, if I can put that much energy into my addictions, what if I put more energy into my saintliness? How much more ahead would I be if I don't drill a hole in my own canoe, or go drink and get wasted and forget that I was even, and just shit my pants and fucking forget, lose a whole day of my life? Nothing got healed with that. I might have covered it up, but it didn't get healed. Oh, look at this mommy running up. She's running up to the gate. She jogged it up to go see her kid. I don't know if you can see it. It was so cute. She couldn't wait to pick him up. She actually started running. Look at the energy. Look at the love. That's what I'm talking about. That's life right there. And it's not just being on top of it, smoking a cigarette. When life throws us a brick, it's giving us an opportunity to build. And I don't know if most people act that way or think that way, but that's how I feel. It's like, you know, these opportunities are coming our way for us to see a new way, and it's not just an obstacle or a blocking. It's trackable, and it's worth adjusting. It's worth seeing ourselves in a new light, in a new way, and say, okay, Saint, I'm not really good at relationships. I need to work on those. And I'm not really good at family, and I need to work on that. And how do I stop drinking? How do I stop smoking cigarettes? How do I stop from being the detriment to myself and start being the helper in my story instead of the victim of my story? And that's really what started to turn around for me and my mental health, was not only brushing my teeth with my left hand and telling myself that I love myself and getting my push-ups and doing my excessive breathing and noting that I'm still alive, even though I'm running on this treadmill in my mind, and say, hey, dude, you're still alive. Give it a breather. Breathe in, breathe out. It's free. It's calming. Everybody wants something to calm themselves down, like a beer or a joint, but how many times have you stopped yourself for a breath? And it's free. It's not a pill. It's not a doctor. It's not a prescription. It's free. It's free to breathe, but we are the only irregular breathers in all the animal kingdom. There's so much anxiety and so much processing. It's almost like our computer is overheating. And that's when I start to slow my computer down, realize that I'm going to make mistakes, realize that this is all part of a process, start seeing myself as an organism instead of just an intellectual being. And I'm not in my thoughts. I am choosing my thoughts and choosing to tell myself to get up and go grab that laptop, or get on the ground and do my push-ups, or just wait till 3 p.m. before you eat and start fasting. I am educating myself and disciplining myself and getting myself to be worthy, instead of waiting on some worth from somebody else or someone else telling me to give me a pass or explain things to me. Instead, it's something that I have to learn. I have to put the effort into it. And I think a lot of people just want the easy way out. They want to pop a pill, pop a Valium, talk to someone else, have them do the work for us, hire a psychologist, so they get on the ground and do the mental push-ups for us instead of actually doing the push-ups ourselves. And that's what I started to see. I started to see me lay the bricks myself. I started to put brick by brick in my own mind so that I can get out of my mind and get into a reality that worked for my mind. And the only way that would work is if I earn it. And the only way to earn it is to work. And by doing the readings and by doing the push-ups and by doing the breathings, I have given myself a chance to feel human again, and not some kind of computer processing all this data of emotion. I'm this human being that's learning from this thing, this journey, and it is a journey. So in about 20 days, I'll be in Thailand and not in the snow flurries of Finland, and I'll be on another challenge of another country and another language with another set of friends, trying to make more content and heal myself more and make myself the Mark Saint that I want to be, instead of the guy that was eating himself to death, or was playing victim, or was beating himself up. I no longer treat myself like that anymore. No. To Kimby Matumbo, no. Stop talking to yourself like that. Start telling yourself you love yourself. Start telling yourself what you love about yourself. Start giving yourself compliments, because Lord knows this computer engine is spitting out all the imperfections, but it hasn't spit out the process. And that's exactly what we are. We're a processor. We're a CPU. We're a HPU, a human processing unit, instead of a computer processing unit. We're a human processing unit. And in our processing, we're going to learn more about ourselves than we ever did before. We're going to build up resiliency and tolerance like we never thought that we could. And that's where true confidence comes from. And that's exactly your morning motivation. So if you got anything out of this, you already know, like, share, and subscribe below. I want to hear what you've done to get the confidence you want out of your life. And they didn't finish in the 30 minutes, but they'll be done here in a minute, and I'm done this minute. So peace and love. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever, here in the land of Finns. That's Finland, Finnish, and I'm finished. Ciao.